Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Monday, March 11th, 2024. A very good morning to you. Happy Manny's Day. Hail Manny the Shining. Now let's see what our astrological forecast has in store for us today. The sun, of course, is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing compassion. The moon is in first quarter Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing energy. So hopefully you're able to tap into some of that energy to get your week off to a good start. Mercury is in the sign of Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing alertness. Venus begins the day in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing intellectualism. And then it will enter Pisces, a mutable water sign, and then it will represent compassion. So we will be going from mind-led loving energies to more heart-led loving energies. So just be aware of that shift, particularly if you're having to sort anything out on the domestic front. Mars is in the sign of Aquarius, a fixed air sign, which is a very staid energy. Jupiter is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, mutable water sign representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing imaginativeness. And Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. So our moon is now officially in that first quarter waxing crescent. So if you have not already, set your intentions and put them into motion. You can do this all the way through up to the second quarter that's when you really need to be shifting gears and working on the fruition and the manifestation of those. As it is a Aries moon, do act bravely. Do brainstorm and do make decisions. Don't get mired in conflict resolution. Don't get stuck in routines, and absolutely avoid sharp objects. So this is the day of the moon, and the moon is drawing us inward to the realms of the dreams and the unseen. It's almost because we just came out of that new moon yesterday. It's almost like we got 2 days of that lunar energy. Now, because it is an Aries moon, that's going to spur us to take our inner hopes and our wishes and form a plan of action to bring them into actual being. So strive towards your most cherished goals today. I know it's a Monday and it seems a lot to ask to strive after anything, but make the most of this energy. Now, our tarot card for the day is the 10 of Wands. And this deck, the number 10, represents excess. Just, it's too much of whatever that thing is. The suit of Wands, of course, is fire, which is represents projective energy and drive. And the keywords for this particular card is severe fatigue, difficulty managing, and prolonged labor. Just an excess of all of the yucky stuff. And maybe even to go along with that, perhaps a sense of futility. We might be struggling with that a little bit today. I mean, it is a Monday. I don't think this day got such a bad reputation for no good reason, because it is that more subdued, more of that inward looking kind of energy. So when you're having all of these things that take you out of yourself, into the world, and having to deal with a lot of stuff, it can feel just a bit excessive, just a bit much of, I'm not flowing with the actual energies. And of course, if you've been at your studies for a few years, you're probably by this time a lot more sensitized to the tides of these energies than you were before. So if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. It's okay. Just one foot in front of the other. It will pass. So today's triad reads 3 things which the merciful will gain: favor, love, and the protection of the mighty ones. Now, remember that in the Celtic triads, when they are making references to the mighty ones, they are talking about the gods. So the merciful will gain favor. And the reason why this would be is because if you do have this good reputation as someone who isn't unnecessarily vindictive, someone isn't being spiteful to be spiteful or hateful to be hateful, it builds up a good reputation. And that means that more people are willing to work with you. They are willing to favor you. And when your own rough edges show, they're more likely to show you a little bit of latitude, because they see that you do go out of your way to not make the world a testier place than what it already is. The merciful also gain love. Because it's the person who's merciful. They're not constantly nitpicking every single microscopic detail and just making a creates affection. It helps grow affection and from more than just your immediate family. And then, of course, with the divine protection, if you are receiving this divine protection, the gods are either easing your way, which sometimes they do occasionally do. They don't always intervene in that kind of supernatural way, but it has occurred and will occur in the future. But primarily, they're giving you wisdom as a boon. They're giving you the benefit of their knowledge, their experience, and just their general knowing of the patterns of life, so that you can actually navigate your steps a lot more effectively. So there's a lot to be said for the quality of mercy when there is room for mercy. Ah, next slide. There we go. So today's magical intention is divination. The color for it is lavender. The plant is peppermint, specifically peppermint tea. Very useful if you're going to be doing any divination today. The animal is the rabbit, and the stone is fluorite. Now, I have to stump a little bit for fluorite. It is one of my most favorite crystals to work with. I really love having a bit of it in the bedroom, particularly if I'm focusing upon dreaming work. I just like to have fluorite around me if I feel the outside world nagging away at me just a little bit too much. Fluorite has a way of centering the spirit and making it a little bit more focused and a little bit more imbalanced. Remember, the role of the witch is to keep a foot on both sides of the veil, and you can't do that if you're being constantly dragged over just into one side of it. And fluorite can help with that rebalancing, as well as heighten your perceptions when you are doing some divinations. And of course, as always, if in doubt, consult the cards. It's what they're for. So today's practice, remember to take mundane action that supports the intentions you set at the new moon. Unless your mundane and your magical actions are actually working in concert together, they have a way of canceling each other out. That's why, if you had a spell go wrong and your ritual wasn't productive, well, when you start troubleshooting, there's usually a disconnect between what you wanted to do in the ritual and then what you did afterwards in the waking world. So make sure that those are as close together as what they possibly can be. Walk in the same direction, and you won't be sending the universe mixed signals. Another good thing to do today is to research shielding methods, especially if you are feeling a little bit more stressed out, or you're just feeling like the day is being a little bit too demanding upon you. Learning to shield, that can help prevent other people's emotions from drifting too far into your own personal energy. But it's also important that before you do put up a shield, that you make sure that your own energy is as cleansed and as calm as what it possibly can be. Because if the shield can keep something out, well, it can also bottle things in, and that could have a detrimental effect. So make sure you know what's what with that. You might carry a piece of selenite in your pocket today. It is a lot of lunar energy, and a selenite is a stone of great purity. It makes everything just a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. That could be another way to make Mondays a little bit better. When you meditate, you might meditate upon the spirit of spring itself. I realize this might be a bit of a stretch if you're still in a part of the country that's getting massive snowstorms, in which case, profound sympathies. Um, and and if it would demoralize you further to be thinking of spring when you're faced with winter, then I mean, of course, send your focus elsewhere. But if the idea of thinking about spring and maybe daydreaming about your garden, what you're going to plant and forming plans, if that would help you endure until you see something other than the colors of white and brown and gray outside, then absolutely this could be something that could be a good coping mechanism for you. And then lastly, you might treat yourself to a nice purification bath or a purification shower tonight. Of course, as always, to go along with that, to make sure you're cleansing your energy as well. Good hygiene all around. So I found a cute little picture of a little baby deer in a circle of, very pale purple flowers, and it was just so cute. Had to bring it to you. And so that got me to thinking for the journal prompting about what is your ideal cozy spot in the spring? Where do you like to escape to? Do you feel refreshed after visiting it? I do really think of in terms of outdoor spaces, but if that's not where your thoughts took you, talk about your ideal indoor space if that's what you would prefer. But just think about, how do you want things to be this season? Because if you have a vision of that, then you can actually work towards creating it. So that's what I have for you today. Come back tomorrow and then we'll see what lies in store for us then. In the meantime, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below or shoot me an email at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com, and I'd be happy to talk with you there. But that'll do it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.